And that's it, we're off. I didn't put the camera on for too long before we left, before we got here, because it's just mainly motorway and it's really boring. And as you can see, the weather's not particularly brilliant at the moment. I'm hoping it will cheer up a bit. But this time of year, yeah, it can be quite changeable. We haven't had the best weather, to be honest, at the start of this year at all. It's been very wet. Part of the allure to coming to the part of Spain that I did was the fact that we get 300 days of sunshine a year. Well, we certainly haven't had that for a long time, at least 3 years now. Now today's route is interesting because we're going almost back to where I live. In fact, it's the next seaside resort town. The next one up from Gandia. And we're leaving a little bit earlier than usual because it's a little bit further than they usually go. Although for me it'll be great because as soon as we've had lunch I can just quickly nip home again. It'll only take me 10 minutes. Now there's one or two things that people coming from England don't understand. I've been reading recently an awful lot of nonsense on Facebook. What do I need? What is legal in Spain? Etc. What people forget is we have in this country a form of type approval. When you buy your bike, it's photographed. And every time you go in for an MOT, which in Spain is after 4 years and then every 2 years till it's 10 years old, it's checked against the photograph and all parts on it must be the parts that were there when it was manufactured. So a lot of guys coming over, will I get done for my light? No, you won't get done for having extra lights. And I'm saying this because I've noticed Peter behind us has got his spotlights on. Just don't get caught using them. Now I say get caught. The problem is a lot of people, I did this and I didn't get done. Well, no, it's not that you didn't get, you got away with it. It's because you were lucky. But if you do, you're leaving yourself open to being fined. And it's far better not to have to worry about it. Be nice to get out of 3rd and 4th. Now what I do like about Gordon's new BMW is they seem to have ditched that stupid idea of putting brake lights, side lights and indicators in the indicators, because that's so confusing. Especially in bright sunlight, if you're indicating and braking at the same time, it's just, you can't see them. I know there have been questions asked, especially in America, about the safety of those. I have seen good ones though on the, I followed an Indian the other day and there's literally half the light is side light and brake lights, the other half of the light is the indicator, so it's not inside it as such, and yet that was easy to see. But the BMW, and I think Enfield have done it on the 450 Himalayan, it's not a good idea, I don't think. It doesn't show up too good. And on a machine that is inherently less safe than a car, I think you need all the help you can get. I have seen that an awful lot of the GS, new GS 1300 riders, have put an LED strip on the number plate hooked up to brake lights. I don't know what they've done in terms of the brake lights inside the indicators, whether they've taken them off or not. But it doesn't say much, does it, when people are having to do that to be seen properly. on a bike that costs so much money. Hello, we're pulling in. What are we pulling in for, Martin? Oh. We're waiting for the stragglers. Yeah, looks like this is a very reasonably sized town. I'll have to look it up when I get back. I don't think I've been through here before. Oh, a little bit of sunshine. Yeah, that backlight setup on that is far better than GS's. Launcher. Back with the speed humps. Still not the brightest of days for Touchwood so far. No wet stuff. Let's hope it stays that way. Past the sports centre. And back to the road. Speed bumps. Oh. Here we go now. I think usually I turn right and then left here, but oh, it is turning right. The old washrooms. It seems that every village has them. A little building with water flows through it. That's where they used to go wash their clothes. And I think the other guy we were waiting for is already here. I love these little roads. I presume that's on Adjutment, which is the town hall. And Martin always finds these roads. That's just not much bigger than a pavement. The one thing you don't want to do is meet anything big coming the other way. There's not a lot of room to move over. It's probably along here somewhere, I imagine, is the little bit of off-roading that he said, or the dirt track. You can obviously see the main problem with this little roads like this. You cannot always see what's coming, and just when you think everything's nice and safe and you're not going to see anything else, you will. I guarantee it. Oh, I think we found. Good God Almighty. Perhaps you hit that at any speed, it'll certainly wake you up. Here we go again. Gravel is not my friend. I had quite a nasty accident a few years ago on gravel. And even I spent a lot of my youth playing off-road, like a lot of people. especially over sudden short bits and all that. Gravel, I've never got to grips with, literally. Oh no, more of the stuff. I haven't. As I've said 100 times, gravel is not my friend. I don't like the way the front feels when you are going over gravel. No matter what I do, it always feels like it's going to wash out on me. Oh, it's so the card's full of my other one. Oh no, now it's working. Oh, here we go again. This is not my favourite surface on one of these big bikes. And the more I do it, it gets better and better. Now the more bothersome it gets. If I had a nice proper dual sport jobby, it'd be different. But as Martin was just pointing out, these 19-inch front wheels, they don't, you need a 21-inch front wheel and something a lot lighter than this to enjoy this sort of surface properly. Oh, there is a car up here. Now this is where I had a problem before, slowing this down, because this isn't too bad, but on the very loose surface I had my accident on, you had a 360 nearly degree turn, a hairpin, dead loose stuff like this, and I couldn't slow it down because of the anti-lock brakes. You can't turn them off. do not like this stuff at all. And then you've got that drop if you do slide, which is slightly off-putting. And I said that the views are lovely. And this is where I get brake fade, because I'm using the back brake to slow me down a little bit, because you don't want to use the front brake, especially when you go with these turns. And then the back brake only works for so long before it fades out. But it's worth it just for these views. I can see the sea. I can see on my sat nav there the sort of route we're taking. As we go down towards Simat, Salem. I would not want to pedal up here. Looking at the size of the guy, he's not one of the racing team. Excuse me. It would seem the art of narrating these videos is trying to find something to talk about all the time. Now, you would think that would be easy, wouldn't you? When you hear some of these vloggers, quite well-known ones like TMF, Teapot One, Richie Vida, etc., they make it sound so easy, don't they? But it's not. I wonder if you can get a remote control on-off for the microphone and the camera for the DJI. I know you can for the GoPro. That would be handy, I think. See what I mean? You don't want to go over the edge of these roads. Drainage ditches beside them, quite a drop. This is where being in a car on these sort of roads becomes a pain when you're following a cyclist, because usually there's not much room to get past them because of bends and you don't know what's coming. Round about and over. This is when the speed limits start getting silly. I think it's about 40 kilometres an hour over the bridge. Yeah, over the bridge. And it's 30. And there's the sanctuary. And a hell of a view from up there. Now Moto is over there. I think it is just past that first block of flats or between the two tall towers. beautiful view from up there, especially now today. This is really strange. It must have its own little microclimate. And down here, turn right. And even at this time of year, there's an awful lot of cars parked down here. Now, unfortunately, the last time I went, the place was boarded up, so I've got my fingers crossed that it was just an end of season thing. And it's now open. We turn right here. Yeah, because these stands followed us. Oh, well, it's open. That's a good start. Welcome to Cullera on the Mediterranean. No, it's boarded up still. Perhaps